I've been using the Logitech G Pro X TKL for a little while now, and I've been cheating on my main gaming keyboard with this. It's a TKL or 10 keyless keyboard with some pretty interesting quirks. Are they deal breakers or deal makers? Let's find out. But before that, this video is brought to you by VIPSCDkey.com. You install Windows and you see the watermark of death. You don't need to fork out a couple $100 for a key. You can grab one from today's video sponsor. From VIPSCDkey.com for a tenth of the price, and you can use our code GEAR to get 25% off. How good's that? That takes that already cheap Windows key and makes it even cheaper. You place your order, bingo bango, you've got your key on your orders page, you chuck that key into the activation screen and you're good to go. No more watermark of death. Use code GEAR for 25% off, link in the description. On with the video. The G Pro X TKL has a very familiar design and the construction is really solid. The keyboard itself is 150 millimeters deep, 352 millimeters wide, and around about 34 millimeters high, depending on which height setting you've got it on. Overall, this is a pretty standard looking TKL deck. The keyboard feels dense, but it's not too heavy when you pick it up. Other keyboards do feel heavier than this. This is kind of in between what you'd usually find. The G Pro X TKL comes in its own carry case. The carry case has a little handle on it, so if you want to swing it around and do some windmills while you're carrying it, you can do that too. And from the jump, you can tell that they want you to believe that the G Pro X TKL is a premium keyboard. That's because it is. The G Pro X TKL comes in 3 colors, black, which is the version that we've got here, obviously, as well as white and pink. In the carry case, you'll find the included USB Type-A to Type-C cable, and that can be used to either charge this keyboard or to use it in wired mode. They also have a standard Logitech dongle that you find with most Logitech mouse and keyboards, and this one's newer than the other ones. It doesn't use micro USB anymore, it's USB A to C. As well as that, there's the wireless dongle itself that's plugged into the little dongle. The G Pro X TKL has built-in Bluetooth, so you can pair this with either a Mac, a PC, a phone, or a tablet, or just any device that's got Bluetooth, just in case you wanted to use any of those options or you wanted to use this with multiple devices. The top side of the deck is made from what I think is aluminium or aluminum in the free world. I don't know what you guys call it out there. There's minimal deck flex and overall it feels like a very solid keyboard. The form factor of this keyboard is nice too. It's standard TKL. However, the spacing is nice and the ergonomics feel very well thought out. This feels like an esports keyboard. On the underside of the G Pro X TKL, there are some adjustable feet. You can either set them to be completely folded away, and there's also a 4-degree angle as well as a more aggressive 8-degree angle. The 8-degree angle is my preferred setting for basically all keyboards. The higher, the better. The legend on each of the double shot PBT keycaps is nice and easy to read if the keys are illuminated. Otherwise, it's actually quite hard to see. The font that's used on this keyboard is the standard one you'll find on most Logitech keyboards from the last 5 or so years. I'm not sure if that's the case with the other color variants of the G Pro X TKL though. It's hard to say because I just don't have them. The keycaps themselves are relatively grippy, and for me, grippy is good, slippery is very bad. There's a few little things that Logitech keyboards do really well and they've kept me using them, like the G915 is my main productivity keyboard, and the G Pro X TKL also does this. And that is the inclusion of media controls. I know some people just don't care, but this is something that I use quite a lot, even when gaming. I'm a bit of a weirdo, but when I play FPS games, I need to be able to listen to music to be able to concentrate. It's not super loud, it's just ambient noise. It just helps me focus. Media controls just make it easier for me to switch tracks in Spotify. Usually I use my Pixel tablet on the desk in its dock to do that. But with the G Pro X TKL, I just use the media keys and they do exactly the same thing, right? Look at me complicating my life with the Pixel tablet to change songs. That said, it's also got the volume wheel too. This is something that I use quite a lot. I know Claire uses this as well. When we're about to film, she frantically just like scrolls down as fast as she can to turn the volume down on her computer. Oh. You absolutely do. I want you to do it every time. You're like, yeah,
because I'm imagining you filming and then in the middle of it, it's just like a cat video going, meow.
It's happened before, but we've cut it out. The G Pro X TKL is very nice to type on. It comes in a few different switch options. The version that I've got here is using the brown tactile switch. It also comes in a blue clicky switch and a red linear switch option as well. The brown tactile switches, they sound pretty nice and they feel pretty great to type on. They're a little bit heavy for my liking. Tactile switches are usually my go-to for gaming though, but let's take a bit of a listen to this keyboard. As far as battery life, this one's hard to say. Logitech's claiming about 50 hours. I fully charged it out of the box and played all the way through Starfield Story and have around 53% power as of writing this. This was also set to minimum illumination as well, so it's hard to say because they're not specifying, but that's also me using it in wireless mode too. Now, while we're on the topic of illumination, you have a lot of options here. The Logitech Pro X TKL is controlled in the Logitech G Hub software, and you can do just about anything in the software in terms of lighting, basically anything you want to do. And I've got to admit, G Hub is a lot better than it used to be. And just anything that you can think of doing in the software, you can do with this keyboard in G Hub. Things like macros, custom key mapping, they're just a few clicks away. Not only that, you can create the profile and then save that profile to the keyboard's internal memory. That's been a thing that Logitech keyboards and mice have just always done, and there is no exceptions here. You'll have the same experience, especially if you want to use this between multiple computers. It just makes it easier, or even if you're using it on your phone or whatnot, you just want to have everything the same, you can do that. Okay, right, that's most of the technical things out of the way. The fact is, most keyboard videos that I watch, I find they're too technical, and I get the keyboard enthusiasts love all that, but what people want to know is this a nice keyboard? And they want to know that without going down that custom keyboard rabbit hole. They just want a decent off-the-shelf pre-built keyboard like me. That's most of my keyboards. Even though a lot of the keyboards I use are custom, they're basically how they are out of the box. While the lack of hot swappable switches can be a deal breaker for some, others don't care as much. Here's why. When you're buying a keyboard, you're usually buying something to fit into your predetermined budget or to suit your typing and gaming style, and it has to have the features that you want. This is actually where off-the-shelf keyboards like this one excel. Sometimes a basic color variant like the pink, the white, the black, and this layout is perfect for your use case, and just perfect for someone who just wants to buy something. If you don't care about switches and keycaps, then it's not really an issue. But if I'm being honest, this time around, I care. I'm used to certain types of switches for gaming. The older wired Logitech Pro X Mechanical allowed for hot swappable switches. I think it's a little weird that this didn't carry over into the new wireless G Pro X TKL. It's a little bit disappointing if I'm being honest, since they've already done this before. In saying all that, the keycaps are easily removable, so getting custom keycaps installed on this are not going to be a problem at all. I just wish the switches could be changed. It just doesn't make sense that they've done it already and now they don't do it. From a content creation and general usability standpoint, if you don't use the numpad, the G Pro X TKL is really nice. For me personally, I need the numpad, but for those of you who don't need it, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. It doesn't have a numpad, right? That's the whole point of TKL. For gaming, this keyboard's pretty spot on. I didn't feel like it impacted my playstyle or my ability to play poorly at FPS games, which is primarily what I play. The G Pro X TKL felt good. Here's the thing with keyboard videos in general though. People always disagree with anything anyone says because, you know, the internet and everyone has conflicting opinions, but I think that Logitech nailed it, almost. I just can't get past the fact that the G Pro X TKL is not hot swappable. When Logitech announced the G Pro X TKL, they put out a video where they asked if they missed anything. I want you to watch this clip.
Did we miss anything?
Well, let's see. Lightspeed wireless with 50 hours of battery life, TKL design, standard ANSI and ISO layouts, dual shot PVT keycaps, light sync RGB lighting, field testing by the world's best esports pros. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yes, you missed the hot swappable switches you had in a keyboard you released 3 years ago. That's crazy to me. All jokes aside though, as much as I'm dwelling on the lack of hot swap switches, I still think the Logitech G Pro X TKL is a good keyboard. Just pay very close attention to the switch type if you decide to purchase this keyboard, because you might catch yourself out. So go and test one if you can. That's not the end of it though. There is a massive catch to this keyboard as well, although maybe not so massive. That's the price. In the time when things are getting obscenely expensive, the G Pro X TKL is no exception. Everything nice just keeps getting more expensive, except if you compare this to custom keyboards and other off-the-shelf keyboards, like let's say from Keychron or any other premium keyboard manufacturers, it's not as expensive as you think it would be, because you need to remember, you need to compare it to what else is out there on the market. Logitech's always been kind of expensive for their products, but the products are premium and very good overall. Because if you're interested in grabbing the Logitech G Pro X TKL, it's going for around $199 US or around 369 Australian dollars. That price for a pre-built TKL is eye-watering, but what you're getting is a premium quality product with full software support to do absolutely everything. And you can't say that with all of these custom keyboards, right? There are some that are close to the functionality of this, but this gives you everything you need. Now, I'm not a Logitech fanboy. I've just used a lot of keyboards, and the thing is, I really like the G Pro X TKL, and I think you guys are gonna like it too. I'm just worried that the price is a little bit too high right now. But let us know in the comments what you think of the Logitech G Pro X TKL. You already know how I feel about it. I think it's really interesting. I just also think it's a little bit too expensive, but it's hard because it's such a nice keyboard. Yeah, it's just, I'm torn. If you like this video, you know what to do, like and subscribe. If you hated the video, fair enough. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You pick, we seek, and please make sure you subscribe and do all those things. Oh, there's also one thing I forgot to mention. I don't know why I forgot this, but there's a little hole in the back of the keyboard to store the dongle as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.